and the moon in Aries. Welcome in. Hope your day is going well. I want to start off by saying happy birthday to all the Pisces out there, and especially those Pisces with the moon in Aries. This is your time, potentially. This is potentially the time for renewal. The sun goes full circle. This is going to be informative, and it's also going to be a chat in that it's alive. And when it comes to the sun and the moon in the astrological chart, I'm of the mind that these are the two most important or two important features of the chart, and that they are the lights of the skies. Some say heavens, some say firmament. We can get into those details at a later video. However, they hold or they symbolize the central point, that which all the other planets receive their light from. And so it is said that they have and give this life energetically. We can quite clearly see how the sun's light appears to give its light to the moon, and the moon reflects it. And so, quite simply, that can be a symbol to interpret the sun, a symbol of expression in Pisces. It could point to the expression of sensitivities and emotion, and the moon reflecting the light from the sun. And that could be interpreted as possible energetics of taking action and impulse. Welcome in, Donulad. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. So, I have some notes here that I would like to share. You're more than welcome to put your zodiac sign in the comments if you'd like, while I talk about the sun in Pisces, moon in Aries. One moment, let me get my notes here. So, sun in Pisces, moon in Aries, this is a water element. Pisces is a water element. Aries is a fire element. Let's pull up Exhibit A. This is the chart here. This is kind of close, but it serves its purpose. You might not be able to see the rising sign in this chart or the zodiac sign that is descending. Golden Scenes, thank you so much for the double taps. I'm currently over here on YouTube. You're more than welcome to come over. It's the same name here. If you squeeze the letters together, and the same lab coat. Thank you so much. All right, I hope you can see that perfectly. All right, so it's challenging to see the sides here, but can you see this up here? This is what I wanted you to see. This is my artwork here with the phone, and this blue line here is my artwork here. Maybe we'll get to this blue line, and we'll definitely get to these two red lines. This red line points to the sun. That was my attempt. And this red line points to the moon. That was my attempt. And not for nothing, and for something at the same time, each zodiac sign is ruled by a planet. And so with the sun in Pisces, symbolically, it highlights the planet Neptune and the planet Jupiter that you might be able to see. These are the two planets that have rulership over Pisces. That's the rule, the astrological rule of rulerships. And the moon in Aries highlights Mars because Mars is the planet that rules Aries. So I created this triangle, this obtuse angled triangle is what it looks like here, as a sign, a symbol, and a mnemonic to remind me of the energy of the sun in Pisces, moon in Aries. Okay. So just want to share a little bit. I'm going to share a little bit what I have written down here for this combination, and then I'm going to flow with it with zodiac signs in the chat. So, Sun in Pisces, Moon in Aries. Pisces is a water sign, Aries is a fire sign. And I want to bring attention to the closeness and proximity that these two are right now. Yesterday, they were this close, and the day before that, they were in alignment, perfect alignment at the end of Aquarius. So, what I'm noticing here and sharing is that the energy is still new. They call it a new moon. We call it a new moon when the sun and the moon are together. So it's a beginning of the cycle. Okay. Water and fire. What does that bring? We can get an idea a little bit of what water and fire are when we go into our imagination. The first thing that comes to my mind is that water puts out fire, and or fire can heat up the water. There. That's interesting. Water signs are the feelers, feeling, feeling deeply, potentially, and reacting quickly. Feeling deeply and reacting quickly. We kind of get that a little bit in the newness of energy in the beginning of situations. So it may be beneficial to be mindful of our feelings and how quickly we react towards those feelings. Do we jump in to assess, or do we take our time and observe before we react? The conscious direction, which is stems from the sun, could possibly bring moments of sensitivity, imaginative. You may recognize you're a bit more imaginative today, compassionate, intuitive, surrender oriented. So the sun in Pisces, we're in the beginning of a dissolving energy. And I say dissolving energy because Pisces is the end of the 12 zodiac signs before the beginning of Aries, which is spring. Pisces is the end of winter for those in the northern latitude. This is awareness that dissolves boundaries. And it's interesting too, Pisces is symboled here. Saturn is now in Aries, approaching the first degree, which is big. Well, the sun in Pisces asks, what is meaningful? What is compassionate? What is spiritually true? What's your spiritual truth? And the moon in Aries reflects that spirituality and sensitivity energetically, turning the spiritual into direct action, possibly acting on one's spiritual beliefs. We may see this a little bit. You may see this in the course of your day. Sensitivity then leading to impulse. The fire signs are energetic and enthused. Maybe the feelings activate sense of urgency. Maybe the feelings and the emotions and the inner dialogue energize to a courageous behavior. Aries. And so with the moon in Aries in a fire sign, it creates this sense that we don't want to sit in the feelings. We want to move, be active, denoted by Aries, the zodiac sign Aries. It says do something. So we feel it. There's a potential for feeling and then wanting to do something and take action right away. Okay. Um, and this does create a little bit of a tension. It can create, it's a possibility that it can create a little bit of a tension. And I would say that is part of the water and the fire combination. Energetically, the emotions and the want to act on impulse, possibly. So the energy may feel like emotional sensitivity plus sudden reactions. It may feel like compassion and impatience. Not for nothing, and for something at the same time. The moon, approximately yesterday, 24 hours ago, crossed over Saturn or was in alignment with Saturn and Neptune here. And so maybe it's beneficial to maintain patience. That may be key. It also may feel like intuition and urgency. Aries, intuition, Pisces is a symbol, symbolizes and can be interpreted as an intuitive sign. And Aries is a zodiac sign that can be associated with urgency. So we may notice a deep feeling, we feel deeply, but don't want to stay in it for long. Aries. Sweet potato, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm over here on the tube. YouTube. So the lesson that the sky teaches is act, Aries, without losing empathy. That's a good one. Act, Aries, without losing empathy, Pisces. Reflect in action or express empathy through taking action without losing the empathy. You're kind of looking at how the sun gives light to the moon, right? So it's like 1, 2. It's like Pisces, Aries. It's empathetic and acting on empathy as a leader, as and with courage potentially, not letting impulse push you into rash decisions where you lose empathy and you lose compassion. It's about inspired courage, Aries, not emotional escape, Pisces. So, some interpretive examples that you can practice on your own. This is a time of acting, Aries, on intuition. Feelings, Pisces, may inspire immediate decisions. So be mindful, maybe taking time, taking a breather or a body scan before making decisions. 60-second breathing sequence, coherent breathing sequence, maybe. Compassion, Pisces, wants movement, not passivity. There may be a need to initiate, Aries, something meaningful. It's associated with Pisces, something that you hold dear, near and dear to yourself. This is a moment of brave, Aries, empathy, Pisces. You may feel pushed to responding as opposed to retreating, Pisces. Intuition may spark action. This is a time to move with the heart. It's interesting. Aries, each zodiac sign has it correlates to a body part. So Aries correlates to the brain and the head as a fire sign. And the zodiac sign Leo, excuse me, Leo, which is down here. I don't know if you could see it here. Maybe. Yeah, right here. It's also a fire sign. And Leo is associated with the heart. So there's a connection between Leo and Aries as fire signs. And so a time to move with the heart can also be interpreted with Aries as well, and that Aries and Leo are connected. We're connecting pieces together here. So, one line summary is this is a time when deep sensitivity, Pisces, meets emotional courage. So, now that's the tone that we have for potential energy for today. Sun in Pisces, Moon in Aries, beginning of the cycle, and the beginning of life's experiences. We want to be courageous. It benefits us to be courageous moving into different realms, but we also want to be controlled. We want to listen to intuition, what that inner voice, that inner dialogue, inner conversation is saying, and move forward with action, with strength, bravery. But we don't want to move too fast where we make a decision that doesn't work the best for us. All right, so now this part of the show, I'm gonna share and incorporate this into your astrology, if you will, to explore some of the potentialities that this lovely Friday as we go into the weekend with the moon in Aries, Friday, Saturday, moon in Aries, and then into the Sunday, the moon in Taurus, right? And so with the sun in Pisces, moon in Aries, Mars here in Aquarius possibly add on to this courage and this bravery and this impulse by bringing truth, wanting to express your truth. And we'll get into that. Okay, so put your zodiac signs in the comments. What zodiac signs do we have here? I'm excited. Let's do this. Let's. Wisdom learned and applied is an interpretation that's descriptive. I got Pisces as being a sign of wisdom. And I get that through the planetary rulership as Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. Wisdom learned, and that Jupiter has to do with learning. Virgo, welcome. Virgo is here. Virgo is here, right across from Pisces. We look at Pisces and Aries, Sun in Pisces, Moon in Aries. For Virgo, this may be themes in your life surrounding relationships. Relationships of all kind, not just intimate relationships, all kinds of relationships. This next 30 days, if you will, focuses on how fair, the fairness within relationships. And so it's interesting because it's a seventh house, eighth house highlight. Relationships, fairness in relationships. You may recognize you become emotional. There may be a circumstance where you become emotional over something that's said and then react quickly, or maybe your partner's quick to react. It's a possibility there. Over the last from yesterday to tomorrow, which encompasses today, we should look to be inspired by others, quite simply. Thank you so much. Zodiac signs in the comments. Sagittarius, where are you? Here, you can't see it. It's off to the side here. Sagittarius is off to the side. After Sagittarius is always Capricorn. Capricorn, then Aries. After Aries, then Pisces. Here. This is not anybody's chart unless there's a baby being born today at one something. But this is a chart, a transit chart, which simply means a chart of the moment. Not this immediate moment, but in the near future. But it's a chart of today, at some time today. Sagittarius, you may notice over the course of the next 30 days. And by the way, for the record, on the record, let the record reflect, usually around this time of the year, this sense of or themes surrounding your foundation, your home, your living circumstances, the relationships within the home and the living, also your inner child. There's spotty as the days carry. We get further into the month and into March as we approach spring. You may notice a reflecting on your childhood a little bit, including this includes the relationship that you have with family members, possibly what you've learned from childhood to now, even. And it may cause you to, it may touch you. You may be moved rather emotionally. It may inspire you and propel you into a dream or a goal, an aspiration that you have, or it may piss you off. And I say piss you off because of the nature of Aries here. Sometimes Aries is an energetic that I have recognized that in its impulsive nature, it could lead to frustration and irritation. Not for nothing. Over the course of the next 2 years, you may recognize that there's a seriousness to matters that you hold dear and near to your heart. You might need to play. You might need to have moments where you find joy. Not for nothing. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the like and the subscription. I'm working on it. Thank you so much, Mystic Mandy. I appreciate you saying that. Happy Lent. Jesus loves you too. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Zodiac signs in the comments. Who's next? Zodiacus signs in the commentos. I hope you have a great day too. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm over here. You're more than welcome to say hi. You're more than welcome. Who's next? Don't be shy. Thank you so much, Peace with the heart. Jesus Christ loves you too. I appreciate you for saying that. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Same name. Yeah, so this is an interesting feature here. Um, as we're in the beginning phase of this new cycle. I don't know if you can kind of smell it in the air. Newness, right? There's a newness symbolically. Just experience this new moon. And not for nothing, and for something at the same time, the new moon was in Aquarius. Be mindful that Aquarius was where it started. What does that mean? What does that say? It kind of says, it doesn't say anything, right? But it's a possibility that over the course of the next 28 days now, there's this want to share this truth that we all have this truth within us that we just dying to express to other people, you know? Anybody feel like that? You feel like you just gotta, like, just there's a truth that I just gotta tell somebody. I gotta just, I just, you just gotta know this. Come sit down. Let me hear this. Hear me. Look at it. Your older sister say, hey, you know, um, I learned today that Sagittarius is going through a time where they start reflecting on family matters. Well, first ask her. Ask your older sister. Hey, older sis, have you been reflecting on family matters lately? She might say, well, who the hell have you been talking to? Get out of my head. Right. I heard today from this brown guy on YouTube. He said, hey, he said, Sagittarius, they may benefit from playing, not taking life so seriously. Relax. Older sister, relax. When's the last time that you drew or played? Even if it's for sure. "Oh, I don't play. I'm an adult. I just think got things to do." Okay, relax. Are you a Virgo and your sister's a Sagittarius? I forgot. That's interesting. You're welcome. You're new to the channel. Thank you so much for the subscription. Aries, you're on deck. You subscribed at the perfect time. Thank you so much. If you didn't know, this is the zodiac. This is the symbol for Pisces. This is the symbol for Aries. I kind of scribbled on it a little bit because I wanted to denote and show the importance and where the moon was to make it bright and where the sun was to make that bright. And so Aries is here. The moon is there now. I've found over the course of the past 2.5 decades of looking at these charts, sharing with people that when the moon is in the same zodiac sign that your sun is in, like you're in Aries, the moon's in Aries, that's a pair. It's a match. It's a match that signifies or symbolizes a new beginning, renewal. Renewal about what, though, we ask? What it do? It do. It's doing. I'm doing astrologia on YouTube and TikTok. Come through. We on YouTube with it. I look forward to seeing you. So that's for one. How do we what does this mean for me? What does it mean for you? It means potentially. It could potentially mean because this is not the be all say all. It's a potential that you reflect on the past 30 days, see what it is that you want to set to the side, see what you would like to pick up and make a main course. It's like the waiter's coming to the table now, asking you, what would you like to eat? Energetically, You may recognize that you want to do a little reset for yourself, however you reset and do your reset. And these are important, not for nothing and for something at the same time. Aries is the sign of beginnings. And as the month proceeds closer and closer over the course of the next 28 days, you might feel a dissolving energy. Out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old, in with the new. You know, yesterday, you may have recognized it, little small little spurts, little firecrackers, little sparks, maybe. I say sparks because Aries is a fire sign, thus the spark, the fire, the light. Maybe not that light. Maybe the sunlight. Maybe. This is a one of the bigger years for you. You get received your license for home health care. Congratulations on that. Now that we've got that, let's celebrate ourselves. Let's celebrate. Let's acknowledge that. Let's take the time. That's one thing that I've recognized. You see this here? This is the symbol of Saturn. And Saturn is a planet and an energetic that can be interpreted as this guru, this teacher energetic. And in the mythology, the mythos, it's a story about time and how the symbol symbolizes like the paying attention to time and utilizing utility. The word utility comes to mind. Utilizing time to maximize. Maximize what? Maximize the self. Ah, Aries is about the self. Some say, I even say that Aries is selfish. That's okay to be selfish. That is okay. I call it self first. When people say, ah, you're being selfish, would you mind saying self first? Would you mind tweaking that to self first, putting myself first? And the reason that I'm doing that and that I do that and that I'm adamant about practicing it is because if I don't put myself first, then there's no you second, actually. So that's okay. Thank you so much for sharing. Birthday's coming up. Exciting. Welcome in. We're celebrating a license. We just received a license for home health care, and we're celebrating that for all the hard work and what we've been through, all of the work that we've been through. Zodiac signs in the comments. Welcome if you just got here. We've got about 30 minutes. Don't be shy. Like the video if you're enjoying the content. Subscribe. Thank you. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's not me. It's actually Yvonne. You can scroll up and thank Yvonne if you'd like. Thank you so much. Zodiac signs in the comments. And I'll share a little bit with you on how the transiting sun, the transiting moon, No, not yet. We've got some time. We've got at least 30 days before birthday. Aries. We're talking about Aries. That's what we're talking about. Aries, the sign of action, the sign of courage. Thus, therefore, without, excuse me, going too far, it might be safe to say that people that were born with the sun in Aries have a courageousness to them, perhaps a fire under them, perhaps. Welcome in. Quick acting. Yes. Funny you should mention that. We're talking about that with the sun in Pisces, the moon in Aries. You know, with the sun in Pisces, the moon in Aries automatically denotes a beginning of a phase. The sun at 2 degrees of Pisces is another layer of beginning of a phase. Saturn just ingressing into Aries is another sign of the beginning of a stage, right? Pluto, slower moving planet at the beginning of a stage. Neptune at the beginning. We have all these beginning, these signs and symbolisms that point to this beginning, new beginnings as we approach the spring for those in the northern latitudes. Eager, potentially. How do you manage this eagerness? How do you manage this quick acting? Zodiac signs in the comments. I'm well. Thank you for asking. How are you? I'm over here on YouTube. I'm pointing to my name here. If you put all these letters together, if you put the at symbol before these letters and squeeze them together, you'll find me. Come over, put your zodiac sign in the comments. Would love to see you over here. Thank you so much. Zodiac signs, zodiacus signs in the comments. Who's next? If they made another month, what would you like the next sign to be? You would have to ask they for that one. You would have to ask they what they would like to make for another zodiac sign. I'm content with the 12 of them. I'm content with the 12 that I use. It's quite descriptive tropically for me. You're an Aries. Welcome. Welcome in. Aries here. A lot going on in Aries. A lot going on and a lot to come in the next 2 months, 2, 3 months, as the sun rounds the corner from Pisces to Aries to Taurus. Beliefs, courage, and values, or beliefs, the self and values, coming in hot. Well, already here over the course of the next 90 days. depending on what house Aries is in your chart. But we'll get into that in a later video, maybe on Sundays when I do deep dive donation based readings. When I say a lot, I'm thinking of, or I'm pointing to Saturn's ingress into Aries, Neptune's ingress into Aries, and the moon transit in Aries in the middle of it, and Chiron towards the end of Aries. It's filled. And so over the course of the next 2.5 days, starting yesterday, you perhaps might have been able to see some experiences surrounding these three themes: patience, belief systems, and healing for yourself. Possibly it would be beneficial for you to maintain keeping yourself first, putting yourself first. And I say that when we look at the zodiac sign Aries, it's a self first sign. Maintain your courage, enthusiasm, and this being inspired to seek out the goal ahead, if you will. And with that, you may need to draw back a little bit and take a breather. Maybe maybe pacing yourself. Maybe as you're going towards your goals and your drive is on fourth gear, you might need to establish some boundaries with others, maybe. Saturnian, maybe. Maybe you're on fire when it comes to your belief system. Maybe. Maybe you're apt to have this fire underneath you that no one can deter you from. And in addition, we also still acknowledge that there may be some healing that we're going through at the same time. Thus, we come back to patience. Thus, the cycle comes back again. Repitan. So, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron. Saturn, Neptune, Chiron. Saturn, Neptune, Chiron. This is if three strings, if we were to play these three strings on a guitar, what would the sound be? I'm curious now. The Saturn note, the Neptune note, and the Chiron note. It's kind of like yesterday, the moon plucked the Saturn and Neptune string. Bing, 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 bing. Bling. Welcome in, bud. How are ya? What's the zodiac sign on you, bud? Put it in the comments here. Exploring the nature of the zodiac signs, the energies and the frequencies that becometh, frometh, the zodiaceth, signeth. Emphasis on that. Capricorn, thank you. How are you? I like Capricorn. I have a thing for Capricorn. Not like that, but the nature, the character traits of Capricorn: structured, disciplined, serious. Sun in Pisces. How does the sun in Pisces and the moon in Aries influence Capricorn? Possibly. Not set in stone. It's a possible. It's a maybe. Mental. You beat me to the punch. Because I was gonna say that this month brings a focus to mindset. Mindset. Setting, fixing the mind towards an objective. What does that look like? It looks like enjoyment. And I don't know how you feel about this, but maybe talking yourself through it. Maybe. Money Meek, thank you so much for the heart me. I'm over here on YouTube. Got a chart over here and everything. You're more than welcome to come over. The same exact name here. Same name. Come through. Put your zodiac sign in the comments. That's helpful? I'm glad that was helpful to you. It's possible. Try it. Maybe. In addition, Sun in Pisces, Moon in Aries. It's kind of like our belief systems. Get us going, get us worked up, get us energized, get us enthused, get us wanting to take action, right? And symbolically for a Capricorn, this is in themes. It may be in themes and areas of life that deal with you communicating and how your behavior influences your home life, right? The dynamics in the home over the course of the next 2 years, 2.5 years, well, 2 years is a cycle, 14 years is a cycle, and another couple more months, couple 3, 4 months before Chiron leaves. And so now the moon kind of plucks those strings a little bit. You made it. Is Money Meek? Samikia? Money Meek? Is there a tie there? Did we find a pair? Zodiac signs in the comments. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you made it so quickly. That was quick. If it was a zodiac sign, I had to guess the zodiac sign, I would say Aries. I don't know. That was quick. Look at that. Aries. Now that was a lucky guess. Where is the moon in Capricorn? The moon is not in Capricorn. The moon is currently in Aries. But if you have the moon in Capricorn and you were looking to see where Capricorn and the moon would be if we were looking at your chart, it would be over here. Click of a button. I appreciate that. Now I know it's that easy. So Capricorn, um, thank you so much for the like, for the subscription. I appreciate you. And stay tapped in. On Sundays, I do deep dive donation based readings. I could pull up your chart. I pull up charts and we'll look a little bit more into the rising sign, the moon, and the such, right? For you, if you'd like. Aries. We just talked about Aries. Meek. We just talked about Aries. The moon is in Aries. It may be a time of replenishing. You know, when the refrigerator's empty, when the refrigerator's empty, what do you got to do? Replenish it, fill it back up. When the toilet paper's gone, what do you got to do? Replenish it. And so the moon kind of comes back. It goes full circle, comes back. Ah, comes back here. New beginnings. There was just a new moon, which symbolizes beginnings in Aquarius, which could be interpreted as a frequency of new beginnings with knowledge, maybe expressing your truth, expressing knowledge is something that I just gotta share this knowledge. Now, as the sun is at the beginning, it was a new moon in Aquarius at the end, and then the sun ingressed into Pisces. Have a good night. Appreciate you. Rest well. Breathe coherently. Coherent breathing is what it's about, what I'm about lately, as of late. It's helpful. Pisces, the belief. Well, first you know it. In the order of the zodiac signs, it goes you know something or you experience it. Now, once you've experienced it, Aquarius, and you know it, you share the truth, and now you believe it. Now you're expressing and sharing your belief because you know it. And then once you believe it, then you take action on said belief that you know from said experience. But these are beginnings, new beginnings, and not for nothing, and for something at the same time. Way back earlier, a couple months ago, couple 2 3 months ago, when the sun was in Capricorn, I started to recognize how the importance of taking my time as I go into these new experiences of life. What does that mean? What do I mean by that? It looks like new experience could be as simple as waking up to go to the bathroom, right? Small thing, real small thing. But how am I as I go through that? Am I stressed? Am I shoulder? Like, how am I? How do I feel? Like checking that and doing that on small scales. I recognize that started to leak into the medium things, which I plan to it then leak into bigger things. Zodiac signs in the comments. Thank you so much for the likes, shares, and the subscriptions. New beginnings. Learning so much. Learning even more now. Learning even more. Zodiac signs in the comments. Thank you so much. Emotions. Pisces is an emotional sign because it's the water. It's just that's how it goes. And Aries is a fire sign. It's interesting to me how the fire signs are always after the water signs, you know, when it goes to ascending order, water, then fire. Not for nothing. Virgo here. exactly opposed. I'm not sure if you can see it there. Can you see it there? Maybe you can see it now. Virgo. Virgo. So Virgo is the zodiac sign that's exactly opposed Pisces. Virgo, Pisces, Earth, water. You see that relationship there? Earth and water. This is a time of the year that the waters, essentially, energetically, from others, how other people's belief systems pour into the earth, right? Pour into you, quite simply. Are you with me? So, whenever you, or whenever we, or I, or you, or all of us, or whenever we work with the zodiac sign that's exactly opposed the sun sign, automatically deals with themes surrounding fairness. So for the month, thank you for the likes, thank you for the subscriptions. For the month, for you, potentially, you may recognize that you're more apt to be like, hey, that I didn't like how you did that there. Don't do that anymore. Or I thank you. I appreciate that you considered me. That makes me feel so good. Thank you. Right. And you may have been experiencing kind words from others already, maybe, possibly. Maybe you're inspired by others. Maybe the belief systems of other people inspire you. Belief, Pisces, inspirational, Aries. Maybe tis the season for that. Maybe other people motivate you into believing in yourself, giving you the gumption. Maybe you extract or absorb gumption to take action in areas of your life. And so while the moon is in the sign of the self, right? Maybe it would benefit you to reflect back on you. Excuse me. Bring it back to you, tie it back into you, and allow this to be a time where you potentially are renewed in some way. Renewal could be looked at in many different ways. It could be acknowledging yourself and what you've achieved over the course of the past 30 days. Zodiac signs in the comments. Welcome in. Hope your day is going well. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being thankful. I've learned so much during this live today. I've actually recognized myself in this hour here sharing. I just uncovered a new dimension or experience. Cancer for your friend. Is your friend right there? Hey, friend, how are you? It's not for nothing and for something. It's so interesting that you said that you're a Virgo and you said Cancer for my friend. Not for nothing. Maybe we'll get into 11th house things later on down the line. However, fascinating to me. Your friend, right? Your friend there. This is potentially a time where learning and exploring become to be themes. What does that look like? It looks like maybe taking a class or a training. Maybe your friend wants to expand their horizons a bit. Teaching, schooling, learning, absorbing as much as possible. Maybe your friend desires to travel. Maybe they have their eyes set on a goal of a new car, maybe new forms of transportation. Maybe your friend. There's a focus on travel. This is a big year for all the zodiac signs, but potentially for cancers, it's the career, it's the reputation, the job, the business. Welcome in, Taurus. Is that a Taurus there? Are you still here, Taurus? Welcome in. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the share. Thank you for the subscription. Taurus, Lisa, hey, I didn't even see y'all over here chilling, boom, bam, and popping. I'm over here on YouTube right now, boom, bam, and popping. Um, Taurus, the zodiac sign Taurus reminds me of the sign bias. I'm not a Taurus. Well, actually, I say that I'm all zodiac signs, but we'll get into that in a later video. When someone says to me that they're a Taurus, I automatically think of how I can value myself more. Because when we look at the zodiacal sign of Taurus, it's an earth sign, which the earth signs are associated with material possessions. It's that's the element. Its modality is fixed, meaning it's an anchored point. It's a pivotal point. There's significant importance to the zodiacal sign Taurus. Not saying that it's the only sign of significance, but it's significant. What we value, what we hold as value, and what we use for an exchange of resources and goods is Taurus. Now, I don't want to get too deep into it, although that was just the element in the modality. But this month may be a time to, you might recognize you looking at your goals and your aspirations a little bit more. You may recognize that your friendships become important, like who you hang around, like birds of a feather flock together. Community might be important to you. A vision board, maybe, or jotting things down on a list, like your buddy Santa. Make a list so you can see it, visualize it, so you can see the value. Maybe, a fun thing to do would be make a vision board. I need to make myself a vision board. I don't need to. I'm on a quest not to say what I need and don't need. Who am I? Just live life. However, there's something about making a board of the visions that you have for yourself, and just then it gets you by looking at it, just by looking at it, you're doing a practice. That's valuable. Not for nothing, answer for something. If and in that Pisces is a water sign and Taurus is an earth sign, then water element highlighted and activated for the pour into the earth, kind of like watering a plant, if you will. Maybe the vision board would water you energetically. Not like you're a plant. You wouldn't grow from that. You'd be hydrated. You'd feel a little better. Maybe your associates water you with their kind words. Audrey, you did it. You did it. I'm over here on YouTube. Come through. Same name, same lab coat, same brown face. Come say hi. Zodiac signs in the comments. Thank you so much for the likes and the shares and the subscriptions. Appreciate you. Libra, welcome. Welcome. When someone says Libra, I look at the Libra in me, and what crosses my three screens, my three flat screen TVs, is the idea of balance. Do I have a picture of this? I think I have a picture of this somewhere in here. Wait a minute. Do I have it? Ah, it's too far back. Do I have it in here? Let me see. Ah, this one. Ah, this one. When someone says they're a Libra, I think of this. Pops into my mind. Pop, fairness, equality, contractual. You see the sign here? This is Aries. First, let me digress for a moment. Let me just say that this month, like last month, is about enjoyment, is about enjoying life to its fullest. Like for Libras, like holy cow, creativity, your creative pursuits, your creative bend. if you will, loving yourself, the inner joy, the inner joys, youthful being, your childlike self, right? And pouring in that potentially that love and enjoyment leaks into your health and well being, quality rest. Rest is healing for you this month. Healing, healing. You might experience over the course of the next 2 months here more and more the need to establish boundaries in your relationships. There's a frequency brewing in the area of relationships when it comes to fairness. Maybe maybe you recognize the importance to administer an expression of truth, might be hard truth, to those that are close to you. Hey, shh, we need some order in here. Zodiac signs in the comments. Thank you so much. You're psychic too. Let's go. Let's go. Inner child work. Have you been doing some inner child work lately? As that improves your client base and your mental health. Airy, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're welcome. What's your zodiac sign? Curious. Put it in the comments if you would. Leo rising, Cancer sun, Taurus moon. The sun and the moon complement each other there. They complement each other there. You may recognize, we were just talking about Cancer, you may recognize that this next 28 days period, themes surrounding your learning, not just learning about any old thing, but incorporating your learning into your life, applying it, looking back at what you've learned up to this point, even Cancer. There may be, you may recognize how much you enjoy utilizing philosophies that you've accumulated over the years and incorporating them. And that leaks into, symbolically, that may leak into your career and your public image, if you will. Excuse me. Who's next? A lot of cancers in here today, or have come through. So, Sun in Pisces, here. I want to read this for some reason. The lesson, act. This is the lesson for today with the sun in Pisces, moon in Aries. Act without losing empathy, or let intuition guide action. What does that look like? Letting intuition guide is not just the first thing that comes to mind and doing it and acting impulsively. It's really tapping in. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We got to look at that a little bit more. But um Pisces is a sign that symbolizes the inner world. And so we can have an anxiousness inside, or we can have a nervousness inside. We can have many different senses or feelings. And I'm of the mind that when feeling is regulated or the self is regulated, then the intuition operates in a way that promotes healthy decision making, if that makes sense. Inspired courage, if you will. Okay. So with that being said, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Like the video, go back to the beginning of the video. I shared a little bit about the and translated the four energy of the sun in Pisces, moon in Aries, which also highlights action and the taking of action and expressing truth, Mars in Aquarius, and our belief systems and our inner world, using what it is that we already know and the wisdom that we already learned to express that into different areas of our life. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.